Hey guys, how's it going? It's Baggins here, and today we're going to be talking about the corrupted breaches in New World. Where do you find them? How do you complete them? What do you stand to gain? And what do you need to be prepared for? Now, as always guys, I will remind you, if you enjoy these sort of videos, please consider leaving a like. It does help out tremendously. If you want to see any future videos of this sort, my how-to series, or just generally videos on New World, make sure you go ahead and click the subscribe button. You can get notified when new videos come out. But back to the topic at hand, corrupted breaches. So fundamentally, first of all, where do I find them? Well, the chances are if you're running around in a tournament, you are going to see them. They're pretty hard to miss. When you go near them, your screen turns black, it becomes all foggy, everything goes like a red blood hue. But if you are struggling to just physically locate them, if you open up your map, you'll see these either small or large red diamonds. Those indicate minor or major corrupted breaches. Now, the differences between minor and major we'll talk about later on in the video, but that is fundamentally how you find the corrupted breaches. Now, these are available at a variety of different levels, going from 25 all the way up to 65. And in order to actually gain any rewards from doing the corrupted breaches, you or a member of your party will need an Azoth staff. Now, you can get the Azoth staff from completing the main storyline up to around level 20. You'll know when you're about to receive your Azoth staff, as the quest text will tell you to go to the Shattered Obelisk and forge the staff itself. Now, the main storyline is initially picked up from Jonas the Hermit, who sits on Fisherman's Bend, and if you just keep following the quests as he gives them to you, eventually he will have you forge the Azoth staff. So you've got the staff, you see a corrupted breach in front of you. What is the next thing you need to know? Well, the enemies that guard the corrupted breach will be level 25 elites at the minimum. Obviously, if you're at a level 35 portal, they will be level 35 elites. And as a result of this, you're going to find it very hard to do on your own. It is possible, but generally you want to bring at least one friend, ideally 2 or 3. The second thing you need to figure out is what sort of breach are you facing. Right now, there are 4 different types of breaches in the game: the Monolith, the Hive, the Grove, and the Portal. Now, out of all of these, the Portal is by far the most difficult, and this is because the Portal actually requires you to kill the enemies in order to progress sealing the breach. Technically, you can just go ahead and seal it while the enemies are still running around, and this is why I think Monoliths, Hives, and Groves are far superior in terms of if you're wanting to get XP or claim the rewards faster. These are much better to do than the Portals. All you need to do is have a friend run around like a headless chicken, gather up all of the enemies, get all of their attention, and you go ahead and attack the core to break it open, and then from there, provided you have the Azoth staff, you can seal the breach. And the benefit of sealing the breach is you get a big chunk of experience, gold, Azoth, you get an item cache which will contain a reasonably decent item, and you also get a lot of reputation with the area that you seal the breach in as well. And this is probably one of the most important things, as territory reputation can gain you more XP within the area, better territory standing, more faction gain, cheaper taxes, better storage. So clearing breaches in an area before you start questing can often be very beneficial, and something that we're going to be looking to do during the release is go to Weaver's Fen and do a bunch of corrupted breaches there to raise our territory standing before we do the quests, so then we can get more XP gain and better faction token return when we hand in quests in the Weaver's Fen. Now, all of the breaches, aside from the Portal, are actually relatively easy to do, and as I mentioned, you can just do these as a team of 2. With the Groves, you just need to destroy the big corrupted tentacle thing that's coming out of there, and then once it's gone, you can seal the breach from where it arose. With the Monoliths, there is a orb carapace thing. You need to DPS that down. Once it's destroyed, you'll then again be able to seal the breach from there with your staff. And with the Hives, these have these 3 fleshy corrupted walls. You again just need to DPS those down. Once you break through, you'll be able to seal the portal from within inside. Now, in particular with the Hives, once you destroy the corrupted wall or the veil, a boss will spawn, so you're gonna need your buddy to go ahead and tag that and then run them out of the Hive. But again, you're not actually required to kill any enemies within the Monolith, the Hive, or the Grove in order to seal the breach. So you can do these on average in under a minute, which is a pretty good return in terms of how much XP you gain from sealing them. But the portals do take considerably longer. As you're seeing on the screen here, I have a stopwatch running for each of these individual types of breaches that we ran, and in general, the portals take much longer, as there's no way to seal it until you've defeated all of the enemies that spawn out of the portal. Now, the last thing to talk about is the major breaches, of which there's only 2 right now. There is the major Monolith and the major Portal. Again, with the major Portal, it is a big pain in the butt. You just have to clear waves and waves of enemies, and then eventually you will be able to seal the portal. The advantage of doing the major ones over the minor ones is the rewards you get at the end are generally better. You'll get more XP, more gold, more Azoth, and the major cash that you get from sealing the major corrupted breaches contains crafting materials which are very, very valuable. Those are used for creating dungeon keys or tuning orbs, and this right now is the only way you can get the materials in the game. So certainly later on, if people want to run the expeditions and complete the expeditions, they will need these corrupted slivers, these corrupted shards, these corrupted fragments in order to be able to make the dungeon keys and then go ahead and run the dungeons. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the corrupted monolith is significantly easier than the portal in terms of you're not technically required to kill the enemies once again. You can have a friend run around and gather up all the enemies. You go to each of the 3 sides of the monolith and seal those with your Azoth staff. Then in the middle, a orb or carapace spawns. You need to DPS this down. Once it's destroyed, you can then seal the major monolith with your Azoth staff. The last few things to take note of when it comes to corrupted breaches is you will be taking corruption damage over time if you stand in the area. Unless you drink a corruption elixir, every time your corruption resistance ticks down to 0, you will take a pretty sizable chunk of damage. However, in my experience, unless they change it for release, you don't need corruption elixirs to do this. You just need one person with a life staff, and you can actually heal through all the damage. It's pretty trivial, unless you're doing it at a significantly lower level than the level of the breach that it's actually at. Another thing to look out for is the affixes on some of the bosses and signature elites. Sometimes it will say Slicer or Explosive under their name. The Slicers you have to watch out for because they spawn these spinning purple beams that do a lot of damage if you walk through them. And with Explosive, once the enemy dies, they will explode shortly afterwards, dealing a tremendous amount of damage to anybody within the vicinity of the enemy. So watch out for Slicer, watch out for Explosive. You only need a life staff healer within your party to deal with the corruption resistances. Monoliths, groves, and hives are significantly easier to do than the portals, and technically you can do them with as little as 2 people. However, one thing to bear in mind is you can just stack endless amounts of people when it comes to corrupted breaches, and right now there is no diminishing return. As long as you contribute to sealing the portal in terms of doing damage to the carapace orb that spawns, doing damage to the fleshy corrupted walls on the hives, or doing some damage to the boss enemy that spawns, you will receive credit towards the corrupted breach. And that is basically it in a nutshell for the corrupted breaches, guys. I hope you found this useful. If you have any further questions about them, feel free to ask me in the comments down below, or hop into the stream. During release, we're going to be live every single day for many, many hours. One of my favorite things to do is talk to chat and answer questions and help you guys with New World. So again, any questions, leave them in the comments down below or hop into the stream. Once again, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.